Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, my dear students of Tomato School. Inshallah, in this video, we're going to study Lesson 6 in your workbook. Of course, we are currently studying Unit 5. So let's go directly to your workbook, Lesson 6, okay? So as we know, the grammar rule in this unit is about question words, how to ask questions in English using question words. And we recently we have discussed the question words like what, where, which, when, and so on. So when I ask you to ask a question, you have to know the question words. This is number one. This is the first thing when you are asked to ask a question, you have to know the question words. So let's go directly to workbook page 36. The first exercise is about reading the answers, and you have to write the questions. So the first thing you have to do is to read the answer and ask a question for this answer. So let's get started. You will have some time to think about the answers, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that's enough. So let's check the answers together. Who can tell me the first question for the sentence? There are 11 football players in a football team. But before that, we have an example like, who is Ahmed Ajab? So it's an answer. The answer, sorry, for this question is Ahmed Ajab is a Kuwaiti football player. So I'm asking about a person. Who for asking about people. The second question, I have an answer here. There are 11 football players. I'm asking about number. So who can tell me a question? Who can ask a question whose answer is there are 11 football players in a football team? Yes, exactly. How many players are there in a football team? How many players are there in a football team? So if you want to ask about numbers, use how many. Sentence C, the answer is people play tennis in a tennis court. People play tennis in a tennis court. So I'm asking about the place. Where to ask about a place. So who can tell me or who can ask a question? Yes, exactly. Where do people play tennis? Where do people play tennis? So it's it's a question for people play tennis in a tennis court. Let's move to the other sentence. Who can read? Who can read the answer? Boxers need to be very strong, tough, and determined. Boxers need to be very strong, tough, and determined. I'm giving you pieces of information. I'm asking to give information. So the question is what? What do boxers need to be? What do boxers need to be? They need to be very strong, tough, and determined. So this is question for sentence D. Next, the first Paralympics were in 1960. I'm giving you a date. I'm giving you time. I'm giving you something about time. So the question must start with when. Yes, exactly. We use when to ask about time. When were the first Paralympics? When were the first Paralympics? So this is question E. Sentence F, you score in football by kicking the ball into the goal. You score in football by kicking the ball into the goal. So this is an answer. So what do you think the question can be? Huh? Exactly. How do I score in football? How do I score in football? So the question is, how do I score? And the answer is, you score by doing something, by kicking the ball, by moving the ball, by crossing the ball, and so on. Question for sentence G. Swimmers wear goggles to protect their eyes. Swimmers wear goggles to protect their eyes. I'm asking, I think, about a reason. Reason? Yeah, exactly. So you use why. Why do swimmers wear goggles? Why do swimmers wear goggles? As you notice here, we have to know the question words in order to be able to ask a question. Sentence H. A football match is 90 minutes long. And be careful, I am talking about the length, not the time. The length of the match. How long exactly? How long is a football match? How long is the lesson? How long is the movie? I'm asking about the length of the match. So how long is a football match? Next, I quite like football, but the tennis is my favorite sport. I like football, but tennis is my favorite sport. So what is the possible question for this answer? Exactly, I'm giving you, or I'm asking for two options. Which or what is your favorite sport? What is your favorite sport? Okay, so be careful when you use question words. Exercise number 2, in the same page, we have to choose the correct imperative. Imperative, when I say do something, don't do something, always pray, always respect your parents. This is an imperative. To complete the sentences using each word only once. We have here 9 words. You can use each word only once, only one time. Do not use a word twice. So what are the words here? Ridicule, dribble, celebrate, give, try, enjoy, practice, respect, kick. Repeat after me. Ridicule, dribble, celebrate, give, try, enjoy, practice, respect, and the last one is kick. You have to use each of these words only once. Take your time. I'll be back in a minute. Think of answers to this exercise. Okay, let's start with the answers. Here, when I ask you to use one of the words, of course, you have to understand the meaning. No way you can answer this exercise without understanding the meaning of the sentence and the meaning of the word, of course. Always your hardest and most importantly, what do you do with the game? So you have to, exactly, you have to try your hardest. Try your hardest, it means do your best. Try your hardest and enjoy the game. So we use two words now. Try your hardest and enjoy the game. Always with your team between games. So what do we do as teammates? Of course, between games, we celebrate or practice, which is much better. We can practice between games. We have finished today's game, so you have to practice for the next game. Always practice with your team between games. C. Your teammates and them encouragement. Your teammates and them encouragement. Who can tell me, who can choose two words for this sentence to give it a meaningful, or to give it a meaning, sorry. So exactly, respect your teammates and give them encouragement. It means encourage them. Give them encouragement. Sentence D. We have two words also for this sentence. If you win, you have to do something if you win. Yes, you have to celebrate. Celebrate if you win, but don't ridicule the losing team. Don't ridicule them, look down upon them. I mean, don't look down upon them. Don't ridicule them. Sentence E. When playing basketball, what do you do when you are playing basketball? What do you do with the ball? Even with football, we can dribble, exactly, dribble the ball, and never kick it. In basketball, it's not allowed to kick a ball. It's not allowed to kick a ball with your leg. So this is exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, we have to choose the correct compound noun. If you still remember, in unit 3, we studied something called compound adjectives. When I said 5-star hotel, 5-star hotel, I say, for example, 4-wheel car. So today is about compound nouns, not compound adjectives. So here we have to use them in a sentence. Take your time, have a look at the words and the sentences. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that's enough. Let's start with or check the answers together. What is a piece of equipment to play hockey with? When I ask you, what do you play hockey with? Do you play with a hockey bat or hockey racket or hockey stick? Again, hockey bat, hockey racket, or hockey stick? Who can tell me? Can you guess the answer, please? It's a compound noun for hockey bat or hockey racket or hockey stick. Exactly, it's a hockey stick. We don't play hockey with a racket. We don't play hockey with a bat. We play hockey with a stick. B, a race between horses. If we are having a race for horses, is it course, horse race, or race horse? Again, is it only course, horse race, or race horse? Who can tell me? Yes, exactly. It's a horse race. Horse race. Horse race, it's between horses. Sentence C. What's the name of a person who plays baseball? Someone who plays baseball. Baseball player, baseball man, baseball athlete. Baseball player, baseball man, or baseball athlete. Of course, he is a baseball player. Baseball player. That's the end of our lesson today. Hope you enjoyed it. And inshallah, see you in the next videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.